and Congress votes on whether or not they're impeaching you. If you are not impeached, but you're indicted, you're basically held, but you're not allowed to travel out of the United States. And that happened. Was it?
Oh, it is basically the same.
Who was it? I have to go back, but I think it might have been Coolidge that was actually held on house arrest. I know Andrew Jackson was. But Andrew Jackson, he was known as Jackass Jackson. But he was the one that was held at his own house because the White House was looted when he first took office. Hello?
Is that live?
Probably. Sounds about right.
Okay, you got a lot of time.
But in any case, I'm learning good stuff. Hi. I'm one of those people that need to hear all sides of the story because I don't trust anybody. I only trust my mind and myself. So, yeah. Thank you.
But yeah, I hold no political affiliation because I don't necessarily agree with all of one side.
Right.
And that's one of the things.
Traditionally, I could vote for any party, but the direction the Democrat Party's going is they're going to get their base out by shitting on me.
Yeah. No, and trust me, I understand. I completely understand.
And I'm not trying to act like a victim or anything, like, but that's the way I look at it, like.
Well,
I
you know
guess
what?
I can see that.
But that's been going on
But
for
then a
years.
colored person would say that the Republicans dump on me to get you out to the ballot.
Which is funny because the Republicans are the one that built half of what they have.
All their rights they
That's
have
true.
is from the Republicans. But
Well, I don't know.
even like if you went out on the street and you asked non-political people who was the party of slavery, I bet you most people would say the Republicans.
83.5% would.
And it's so not true.
No. And Republicans are not technically the ones that ended slavery. Because even though Abraham Lincoln was a Republican, the Emancipation Proclamation was not about slavery.
It was about land rights and a whole
Yep.
bunch of stuff.
He was trying to keep the
But
Union
a lot
together.
of free slaves fought on the Union side.
That's true.
Well, the Confederacy had a black regiment. Then they never saw battle. They never
Right
saw
in the
battle.
background.
And they were all voluntary. Because what it was is the Confederate Union, when they decided they needed it, once the Union started sending black, then they like, oh, we need one too. They offered freedom to any of them that served in their military. Hey, good deal.
Because even like in Massachusetts, a lot of Civil War Civil War was fought there. But if you dig down deep, a lot of black people had how would you say it? Helped out a lot.
Oh yeah, they had a lot of ties.
But you got to dig deep down it because it's not on the surface.
No, nothing's on
You
the
got to
surface.
dig deep
Nothing's on the surface.
to find out that like black people
I never knew that.
helped during the Civil War.
So that's like for real, for real?
Yeah.
I never knew
There's
that.
nothing is on the surface. Even in Hawaiian history, nothing is
Yeah, I
on the
know
surface.
that part, yeah.
You gotta dig deep.
But where would the spots where you be digging at?
Well,
You
when you
know.
Google something,
I'm in a Google.
When you go to Google, go to the 15th page.
Scribble like that.
Squirtle like that. Holy shit.
You
Top
have
mushrooms.
to.
Yeah.
You
if
have
you hit
to.
the first one, you're hitting the politically correct view of.
And that's the biggest problem with America right now is the PC culture.
What's a PC culture?
Political correctness.
Oh. What is politically correct anyways?
Okay, let me ask you
Who's to
this.
say that anyone
Don't say
is
anything
correct?
that's gonna offend.
Let me ask you this.
Well, they need
I'm gonna
to
ask
know
you.
it.
I'm gonna ask you a politically correct question.
Okay. I like politically correct questions.
Oh.
What?
May I speak to you?
No!
Okay. I do apologize. I must have raped you. That's politically
No.
correct.
What the fuck they do?
Politically correct would be you sitting here, and obviously you're a girl, but it would be non-politically correct for
I'm a
me
man on
to,
the inside.
to assume that you're a woman,
Yeah. So basically.
or that you identify yourself.
Well,
as a
not
woman.
only that, you can't even speak to her. Because with her being a woman, if you ask her a question and she has not given you permission, you've raped her.
That's bullshit.
And secondly,
Oh, that's
Sorry.
That's
No.
the college.
and then secondly,
No way.
That's how-
once she has given me permission to speak to her, I have to ask her, and your pronouns are?
The fuck is a pronoun?
Okay, so the fuck is a pronoun? How are you today?
She.
Oh my god. Okay, that is just too much. Just no. I'm good.
Well, they have like in New York City, they have the big transgender, bathrooms thing. But in New York City, if you assume somebody's a certain sex and you would direct them to the wrong bathroom, they can turn around and sue you.
Yeah.
The fuck it.
The bathroom
And
is open
then
out.
you can be sued if you ask them what they are.
Right.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Because that's insensitive. How dare you ask
Well, I mean,
them what
are
they
you gonna
are.
sue the little boy? Are you a boy or a girl? You're gonna sue this little 4-year-old boy?
They
Well,
can,
if
they
mommy
can
and daddy
actually,
got
they
That's
can
bullshit.
sue,
They
they
gotta
can sue the
understand
parents.
that. I
They
mean-
can sue the parents.
Why not? They're trying to learn.
Oh no.
I
How
know,
dare
I
they try
want
to
it.
learn?
Well,
They're
the-
oppressing everybody.
Oh, come on.
Or the new one
Are
is
people
with
this
the.
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Lord have mercy. They need to get over themselves.
Or the new one is.
Oops,
with
I'm sorry.
The,
They need to suck a dick, something. I don't know. They need to do something. They just do.
And that's the thing. That's, I think, honestly,
They just take it
PC,
too far.
the concept of PC has become the detriment. You know, especially with millennials, and I hate saying that because I'm a millennial myself.
I beat it by 1 year, 79, baby.
Lucky you.
79.
Wow,
I'm not a
lucky.
millennial. Thank you.
Oh, I'm a part of this.
I don't get
I'm
offended.
Oh
and,
no, wait! I have my own.
I don't wear
have,
skinny jeans.
I have a barrier dog right here.
But it really is. It's millennials.
Yeah, I think
For the most part.
Yeah, I think.
But I think that if we get into Generation Z, which is the current generation,
The younger, like the teens, the preteens.
yeah, I think
I
they're
think
the
the
ones.
millennials
The-
stops at 2000, 2004.
Yeah.
They started in 80 because I was born in 79, so I just skipped
Are those
out.
like considered the tech kids?
Yeah.
The ones that always constantly look at their phone.
Yep.
This is how I learn all my information. This is how I learn about sex. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you I've never seen a dick.
What year were you born?
90?
Yeah, you're a millennial.
Yeah, I know.
I tell
That's
her all
okay,
the
I
time.
was
I remind
85.
her all the
Oh.
time.
I'm 85, so
Hey.
so am I.
I find
It's legal.
all of my age
How
range.
dare you
if
judge me?
there's-
I'm offended. I want free college.
I'm offended by people that just get offended by being offended. Like, just.
No, but
grow
what
the fuck
happens
up.
is-
I offend myself.
I
so
know, right?
it's
For
okay.
real, like-
No, what happens is I think there's a big difference between a Democrat and a liberal.
there really is.
There is. And the thing with liberalism is they've infiltrated our school systems.
Why did they
Our
get
school
rid of
systems,
that?
our great school systems, our public universities. They're all over Hollywood. It's our media,
Yes.
and it's just getting boom, 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 constant. People don't know nothing different.
Well, and that's the thing. If we really had free speech like we're supposed to have, and we weren't getting bombarded with how we're supposed to speak, I think that there would be dialogue. There would be open conversations.
But when you don't have an argument,
But how come people can't exactly just talk it out instead of just arguing just a one-sided point?
because
Of an
the
issue.
opposite of politically correct is hate speech, and they argue that hate speech is not covered.
But how
under
do they
free
know
speech.
what hate is exactly?
But hate
if they
speech
can't-
is covered under free speech.
That's why you have free speech.
The only thing, okay, the things that are not covered under free speech
is yelling fire in a
is
in a
anything
movie
that
theater.
causes a major riot.
or like
Okay.
or me saying like
Like,
I'm
we're walking
gonna-
up and down the street, oh, tsunami.
no, but like threatening somebody.
You can't threaten somebody's life. You cannot threaten bodily
That
harm.
makes sense.
Right. But when it comes down to, you want to say you don't like somebody,
Well, then just
You
say
have
you don't
every
like
right
that
to.
person and just fucking get
Now-
over it.
you do have to watch, because if what you say is knowingly false,
Right?
and you know that,
was knowingly false.
if you know that it's a lie,
Like, you say if I hate you and I kind of like lied about it because I kind of like you.
no.
Like that?
So since I know that you're pregnant and everything, right? And I
Right.
was like, she's a man,
Well, then fuck it.
right? But I know that's true, that's completely false.
Right?
But I'm going around and I'm doing that, and it's damaging you and your reputation and stuff.
Mhm.
Then that is not covered under free speech because it's false. and it's knowingly false.
You can't deface.
I get it.
Makes it okay.
That makes sense.
Unless you're in the media, and then you can just say whatever.
Apparently, if you're in the media, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Unless you're president, then you have to be prude. We don't want to know that our presidents are sexually active. But our our golfers can't be either.
Right.
But apparently, our baseball players and football players, oh yeah,
Person who is
go oof as many people as you want.
to be easily shocked
And all the
by
inbreds
matters
at the media.
related to sex or nudity.
What are you?
I'm looking up all these big hyperbolical words because I want to know the true meaning of the damn word, so that way I know what the frick it is. Sorry, I know Facebook Live. Yeah, probably. Sorry, I'll leave it alone. My bad.
Just remember, Google's liberal too. So
Yeah, well, at
Google,
least.
Facebook, they're all, see that's the funny part. They say
Well,
the
at least
Democrats.
this is the closest meaning.
They say the Democrats are the
Urban
party of
Dictionary.
the
Of
little
free
guy
speech.
of the little guy,
Wikipedia.
but the top 10 richest people in the world, 7 of them are Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that.
Facebook, Google.
And I still talk shit about them all the time.
Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerman,
Facebook.
he's something else.
But he's no longer.
But I don't think it really matters.
Suing Hawaiians for
Because they
the.
really don't care.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
I know, but I get to jump on for it. So.
I mean, if you're gonna put it up for sale, then you kind of gotta expect that kind of stuff going on.
But they said he knew that when he bought the land. He knew exactly where he was.
Who bought land
What's
and never
that?
shared me?
Mark Zuckerman, the guy who owns Facebook.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerman.
He's taking
Suck yeah.
He's taking people to court for their land.
Is that what you said? To an extent, I almost cannot blame him. I mean, when you see the property lines as they were actually drawn for him, these people knowingly invaded his land,
Right.
and so he has every right to do so. Because I pulled up the survey on it as well. Just,
Oh, that's
'cause
some big cockroach.
I really want to know. Because I don't want to jump in, and not know what to
Right.
decide. And
Take a picture of that.
yet, a lot of people are upset about it. And I'm like, okay, well, I can understand that. But I liked his compromise on it.
He's just chilling.
He wasn't necessarily compromising on blocking them. He just wanted to have ease of access. You would want ease of access to your house too. I mean, so
Right.
and if you buy land here in Hawaii, you already know it's expensive, and you find out that somebody else is on your land, you wouldn't want them on there if you were planning on building something. So I have to look at it kind of like, well, what would I do in that situation? And based on that, yeah, I would. I would take them to court too.
Okay, so apparently, so from what I'm understanding is that these Hawaiian people was like, oh, this is my land, yeah? And then this guy, he's like, oh, I just bought this land. But then they like him, beat it. But he's like, no, you beat it because I bought this land,
Mhm.
right? Okay, so do they like literally own the land too?
No, he owns
So
land.
they basically just live there and then just claim the territory.
So they owned certain parts. They owned land.
Right.
But where he owned,
Right.
they had built into where he owned.
Okay. So they're moving shit.
That's what he was doing, and David said no. And he finally decided to take them to court to make them ease back. So that way he could have his land, so he could build his house or whatever it was that he was trying to build.
Okay. So then those people is just being all super kind, pilau with the attitude. And was just like, no, fuck it.
They thought.
But because
they
he
really
was,
thought they were in the right, but
because
they weren't.
because they're local.
So what?
That
That,
was
don't
their-
mean nothing to
That
me.
was their big thing is, he's coming in and he don't even belong here.
So?
Big example, Eva Beach.
Okay.
The old Eva Beach, like where my grandmother's house is,
Live in the backside, yeah?
by
the far,
Eva
far
Beach
part.
Elementary,
Okay.
going to Hellbush.
Yeah.
They had 10 feet of property
Okay.
from the road.
Okay.
3 feet was the man-made gravel sidewalk,
Okay.
and then the rest was their plants and everything.
Yeah.
Now, when the state came in
Right.
to widen the road,
Right.
they had to move the fence back
Why?
10 feet because it wasn't the property. They just claimed it as a property because the road
Because
was
it
right
was
there.
in front.
It was in front of the house.
Yeah, but if it's not listed as part of your property,
That's the
then you
same-
have liable
That was
justification to hand
that's
it
the
over.
same issue that they had on Kauai.
Oh,
They
did
just
get
took
over that
over
already.
the land.
Yeah.
They're squatters.
They took
Or
over
whatever.
the land and made their property bigger,
But I mean, if it's
thinking
like,
that it was never going to happen.
If it's legally not yours, you can't get mad over something that's legally not fucking yours.
Well, actually, they do. And here's why: because they've had it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah, but no one was there
But the
to
original-
enforce that.
Right.
But the
upon
original
them.
owners who did it, probably their grandpas, or when they did it, the younger generations weren't told. 10 feet of their property is in ours. So if anybody ever
Lost
comes and
information.
says, if
That's
anybody
always-
comes and says, move, you gotta move. They were never told. So they decided they're gonna fight because in their heads they think that that's their property.
Okay.
That's what happened because that's what the big fight in Ever Beach was. Yeah. And then wait, Ever Beach was worse because when they went into widen the road, and my grandma's house is right on that road.
Okay.
The garage came out. You know how far the property line went to? Half a foot from the garage roof. That's
Okay.
where my grandpa's property ended.
Okay.
6 inches from the garage roof.
Okay.
So the fence went all the way to the garage. So if you drive down,
Yeah.
the blue house that's on that road across the basketball court, you're gonna see the garage, and the fence is like this right against the garage.
At least you still get 6 inches to work with.
And I was like,
That's all I'm saying.
stupid.
But I mean, like,
I told my
I just
auntie-
can't see like why people would get so upset.
I told
I
my
mean,
auntie-
like, just look at the records. Just go all the way back when we
But they
first
don't think
purchased
they should
this.
have to.
But it's kind of common sense to like. Oh wait, well, sorry, common sense is not so common. Forgot about that.
Common sense is not in the new world.
Yeah. Not a
Well, that means.
They
It's
did
an
it in
entitled
Malakuli, too.
society.
They took
That's
the
true,
Hawaiian
they did do it in
Homestead,
Hawaiian
Homestead property all the way to the road,
Yeah.
built and made them all by the road nice,
Mhm.
leaving a nice sidewalk. And what happened? They had to push back because that wasn't their property that they built on.
Oh, wow.
It happened.
That's true. Yeah. I mean,
My uncle's property, you know when you go into Nanakula and you go over the bridge right by
Yeah.
the water?
on the nice part on the.
That first house
Yeah.
is my uncle's property.
Okay.
His property went from that roadside all the way back. You know that he had to give up 2 acres because it wasn't his. And
From
his
the front.
from the back, 2 acres from the back, they had to come back.
Does
It
that
was-
include the mountain?
Huh?
You mean the mountain part?
Yeah, because he had 3 acres, but only 1 acre was his. But his grandfather owned the property before him
Sure.
and had all 3 acres.
So how did that change?
Because the grandfather
Mhm.
built on 2 acres that wasn't his. It still belonged to
someone else.
yeah, the
So-
Hawaiian homeland.
So basically, what they should have done was like question it, how come? Then gone back in the records and
Mhm.
seen that Grandpa only had 1 acre. How come we get 3 acres? When this happened?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
sorry, yeah.
my uncle
and then
was
just
smart
be okay with it.
because he worked for the Department of Land Division,
Right.
so he knew how much property he was. So when they came in to build the new houses in the back,
Right.
he just pulled everything with no questions. But the rest of the families that were right next door to him all fought and
I
they
don't
lost.
know. I would have done at least
And
my
they lost.
research first. Make sure that I'm in the right before I actually fight it. Because if I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna fight a losing battle, I'm just gonna make myself look stupid
Hmm.
for no reason at all.
But that's what was going on Kauai.
They should have done their research. Sorry.
So
Does that make me a mean person?
No.
Okay,
No.
I'm just saying.
Makes
I mean,
you an insensitive
you have free
racist.
land until
I'm
the
insensitive
owner
to
wants
everyone.
to take it away.
So they just need to get over it.
You have free land until the owner wants to use it.
Right.
When the owner
Okay,
wants to
I can
use
accept that.
it goes right back to the
Okay, I
owner.
can accept that.
Yeah. But the
They don't
Hawaiians,
belong to me.
the Hawaiians don't know that. The ones that are on that
Well, a lot of
property.
them already feel that Hawaiian, like just Hawaii in general, belongs to them.
That's why when sovereignty started, and I always use this, and they tried to get me on to stand with them. I
Yeah.
said, "What I'm gonna get out of it?
You're gonna get a card and a
enough
shirt.
enough land to put my big toe on it, and I can say that's my property. That's all I'm gonna get because the land don't belong to us.
For real.
You want land? Go work, buy your land.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking. Like, that's my way of thinking. If you want it, you work for it, then you own it, and just make sure that it's all stated on paper. With at least 5
But you know
different
what?
signatures.
No,
saying
because
they witnessed
half that paper is useless.
that. Probably.
You get plenty of people trying to sell their stuff that they don't even own.
Okay, get Big Island.
I can see that.
I sell you the interest I have in something if you like.
I don't do interest.
Like I can sell you the interest I have in your house
Sorry, I don't
if
do
you
that.
like it.
I don't do interest.
Oh, why not? I sell it to you, only 25 cents, and you can have
Honey.
all 100% of my interest in it.
Honey, okay, I pay you $1. You keep your interest.
See, the only island that I would laugh if a billionaire bought the property is the Big Island. Why? Because if the volcano erupts and it goes right through that
It's gonna
property,
take them anyways. You cannot do nothing after
if
that.
it
Nothing's
goes,
gonna grow.
yeah. But what gonna happen is if it goes right through that property,
All your shit's done.
it's not your property. It's brand new land.
Yep.
You lost your property.
Mm-hmm.
It's brand new land. Because I lost 2 acres that way.
I mean, I'll rent it. I'll rent the
Come in and
place.
take your land anyway.
I lost 2 acres that way. The Kalapana flow went down and went right over my 2 acres. I lost it. It was no longer my land. And it was under my name. From when I was 6 years old.
That's why I always rent it. If I'm gonna own anything, I'm gonna own a tiny home and just take that bitch wherever I
I want to
want.
get a tiny.
For real!
I'll sell her a good.
At least that shit is mine.
You know, and that's one of the things that, like here, and
They should have a place for tiny homes.
they should.
Oh,
It's
good.
still gonna be expensive to
But
market some.
don't they have like a thing like
Land is-
where it has to
is
be a
limited.
certain amount? That doesn't make sense, right?
I don't know if the law is still in effect. I know it was in the 70s.
I like your foot.
Where the mobile homes, Hawaii didn't allow mobile homes.
Yeah, I don't see any of them.
They don't.
I don't
As
see
far as
mobile
I
It
know.
was against the law to have mobile homes. So even the mobile RVs,
Yeah.
they had nowhere to park in. So you couldn't park it unless you had your own park drive.
Yeah,
Lot.
I don't
Oh,
see
so that's
any.
what explains why the guy up top and from the kind from my grandpa's house, he get his own land, but then you see this one old trailer park thing up there.
Yeah.
Just-
So if you had friends that had big land, you could go tell them, "Oh, I park my house on your land."
And just pay them like a lump sum every month. Like, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
pay you $200 just for this one spot, but I'm gonna keep it clean.
Affordable
that's
housing in
so cheap.
Hawaii is $1,300 for a studio.
Bruh, that's intense. Like, who the hell's gonna afford that? I mean,
Well, you gotta
we're
remember
under
that it's
affordable
supposed to be.
housing.
It's supposed to be 1/3 your income.
Right. But what if?
So what is 1/3 of 1,300? Or I mean, what is
Huh?
what? 1,300 is 1/3 of what?
1,300 is a third of what? Hold on, that's a math question. I don't have time for that. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
5,200.
Who makes that?
That's
I
how
don't
much.
make that.
That's how much you have to make in a month to have $1,300 rent. So how much is that per an hour?